And the ideal person to answer all those questions is Fiso Mahlangu, political analyst, a resident political analyst. We'll be joined by Patrick Lipudi from Mogale City. He's the ANC speaker there. Good evening to you, Mr. Mahlangu. Thanks so much for joining us. A sign of the times, really. Very interesting number, the 38-39, because if you think of how the DA coalition was formed, having them lead the mayor and then subsequently have a speaker and a chief whip that belongs to the ANC, it was meant to be tumultuous.
Good evening to you and good evening to your viewers. It is a tumultuous relationship indeed. And I believe a coalition government has always been antagonistic. Whenever you consider a coalition government, it's very vociferous because you have a multiplicity of voices, particularly in one metro or in one municipality. You would often have the mayor and then you have the speaker belonging to two different parties. Or as you've seen in Nelson Mandela Bay, the mayor is one party and the deputy mayor would then be another, or the speaker would then be another. And so I think that's a fiasco and a recipe for disaster, because these are parties that have got ideological differences. When you have an ANC mayor and a DA speaker, they don't believe in the same things when you think about the economy, when you think about issues of race, issues of healthcare. During this time in South Africa, there's a huge furore and a discussion and a dialogue concerning issues of colonialism, whether it was right or wrong, and people in the DA are saying it wasn't all bad. And I think when you put those two people together with these ideological differences, then you have a recipe for disaster, particularly when our parliament has been so radical or so vibrant or often so violent. That translates to the municipalities or the councils, and that relationship becomes untenable. But if you see the number differences, it's just one person difference. You know, when you consider 48 and 49, that shows a vibrant democracy. And it also helps that...
or a traitor, as some have been saying, that within the DA ranks, possibly somebody had voted against party lines.
Yeah, of course. But it also means that the party that is in charge of that municipality has got to do everything right, because they know that they may be ousted at any time. I think this also deals with the issue of complacency, because you know, when you know that you lead a government and you believe that you are the heirs of that government and you are irreplaceable, you can often become complacent with issues of service delivery. But if you know that the margins and the numbers might vote against you, then you must always be up to the ball. And I think this is a sign of a vibrant democracy, and it's a sign that in competitive politics there is a lot of horse trading and traitorism, and you might be a mayor today, but you might not be one tomorrow.
All right, let's get Mr. Patrick Lipudi, Mogale City ANC speaker. Good evening to you, and thanks so much for joining us. Just put it to us in context. The difference of one single vote had initially put the DA mayor after the 2016 August elections, and now that has essentially flipped in favor of the ANC. You have another 7 days to form a council, or at least a municipality. What are the issues in terms of resolutions that haven't been passed in line of these coalition government? What has made it so difficult to manage?
Yeah, let me start with the issue about the one vote. This particular one vote started to happen on the first time when we were establishing government. That was after the elections last year on the 18th of August. The first office bearer to be elected was the speaker, and the speaker got 39, and the person who was contesting, which is from the DA, got 38. When we went to the mayor position, the DA got 39 and the ANC got 38. When we went for the council whip, the ANC got 39, the DA got 38. So this particular one vote has been moving from all this particular direction. So it did not start yesterday. So yesterday, again, it basically happened that the DA got, or the coalition got 38 votes, and then the ANC got 39 votes. Now, coming to the question that you are asking, Indeed, there are many issues that, as you know, that the government is a highly regulated institution. There are many issues of compliance that has got to do with the MFMA, that we must be able to deal with them and basically send them to the province and also the national. So there's been many issues that were not complying, precisely because of the issue started in October last year, when something that was very unusual, that a governing party took a decision when they realized that the issue that they were raising, they were not winning on it. They took a decision and they walked out of the council. So it was very unusual that a governing party can walk out of the council. So as a result, there were many issues that were not basically dealt with, because when they left, then the meeting was adjourned. In November again, the same thing, they repeated it again. And they walked out of the council. Now, as we speak, the specific issues that are now outstanding is the budget and also the IDP. Those particular issues are outstanding. They were supposed to have been approved on the 30th of May this year. So as a result of the manner in which the coalition behaved in the council, the meeting could not basically carry on. Because they simply said that until they get what they wanted. And at that particular time, we were debating the issue of the secret ballot, which the rules and orders they give the speaker to make a decision on which method of voting must be applied. And I then said, we'll apply the secret ballot. They wanted the show of hands. So they, at that particular point, then they said they're not going to move. And as a result, I have to adjourn the meeting for yesterday. So in the yesterday meeting, we then continued with the voting. Obviously, after we have basically exposed them, that whereas at the national level, the coalition, their parties, they want the secret ballot to a point whereby they went to the Concord. Now, at their level, when we basically give it to them without any effort, they did not basically want it. So in the yesterday council meeting, they then agreed with it. I think I suspected that maybe they were given an instruction that no, they must go for this particular secret ballot, and the outcome that we basically got. So the aim was that immediately after the motion of no confidence, whether the mayor would have basically want not to be removed or not, we were going to go straight to those particular items, which is the IDP and the budget.
All right, Mr. Speaker, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just want to, just for clarity in terms of how the secret ballot works in detecting who voted or who this one single vote is that seemingly has voted against party lines, which had previously put the DA mayor in power, if you will. So is there a way of detecting who the single vote or councillor is that voted against party lines?
When you vote through a secret ballot, you can detect the pattern of the voters, the 77 of them. So you can detect that, and that is that's what the secret ballot is meant for.
You know why? Because there are reports that all the other coalition, or rather smaller parties or opposition parties, had opted to go for a particular color pen, let's say red pen, to indicate their loyalty to the coalition, and that the DA members would have then used the black pen for argument's sake. So you can still see if that's a system that is foolproof.
Look, we're not aware about that particular issue. It's news to me that there were certain parties that had decided to use the color pens. I am not aware about that particular situation and so on. But you had a situation whereby there were pens that members could basically utilize them. I hope even not being aware that there was a particular situation and so on. So you may find that no members brought their own pens, or they find pens there and they use whatever pen that basically they come across.
Mr. Speaker, I beg your pardon. Please stay on the line. We have Siso Mahlangu, political analyst. Siso, just in terms of the trust relationship now, because, you know, can you imagine the situation where you don't know who may have voted against the coalition and now giving back power to the ANC, as it were?
Well, I'm a firm believer in open ballots. If you're going to nominate someone, you should do it openly. And if you are trusted as an MMC, or trusted as a member of council, and you have to elect a mayor, surely you need to send a statement and say, this is the person I'm electing. And for that reason, if you are wearing a red T-shirt, then it is expected or predictable that you vote or nominate the leader of the red T-shirt or the yellow T-shirt or the blue T-shirt. And so it seems unfair or a system of betrayal if you're going to receive a salary from one organization, or you are seated there in a red T-shirt and then you want to nominate another. But this also sends a clear signal to the current opposition, the Democratic Alliance, to say, as much as you want to come into government, it's often easy to sit on the opposition lines, you know, and to throw stones and declare what is wrong with government. But when you are in leadership, as with being a mayor, you can be ousted in the way that you want to oust the other government. And, you know, being an opposition leader, you really just oppose everything that leadership is about. Okay. But when you're in a system of leadership yourself, the ball changes. And so I think even in opposition politics, it is warranted to say, as much as you condone some things and as much as you throw stones, hoping to be in leadership, when you lead yourself, you will receive the same treatment from other comrades who are in the opposition lines.
Let's talk about sustainability in Mogale City going forward once a new mayor has been elected and the motion of no confidence has been exhausted. Mr. Speaker, just your reassurance that going forward there will be some semblance of sustainability in Mogale City.
Look, the 77 councillors of Mogale City, they have a responsibility, me included. We have a responsibility of making sure that the Mogale City works, to make sure that the Mogale City is effective and efficient, so that we can be able to service and serve the community of Mogale City. Now, I think all of us, we have to ensure that we put that in practice. Because all of us, when we speak, even in council, all of us, we speak as councillors who are ready to serve the community of Mogale City. So what is more important from my side is that that particular theory must be matched with the practice, so that at the end of the day, we can be able to really reignite the spirit of Mogale City and take our people forward.
All right, we thank you so much for your time. Siso, as always, it's a pleasure to have you and your insight. Siso Mahlangu, political analyst, joining us in studio, and Patrick Lipudi is Mogale City Speaker. And thanks to you at home for joining us as well. We'll take another look at stories that we follow.